You are with the big story here. I'm Seher Zama. This is part of our continuing coverage regarding Aarey. Today, those protesters who were detained on the night of 6th of October for staging a protest against the chopping of trees are demanding a removal of criminal charges that were pressed against them. We should remember that while a hearing that was on of a petition that was filed by students from Noida against the chopping of these trees in Aarey, the Supreme Court had not just directed the Maharashtra government to stop chopping any more trees, it had also, with immediate effect, instructed for the release of all protesters. While this case is further to be heard on the 21st of October, today the protesters are asking why they're still facing criminal charges. Say that this was a peaceful protest. Why were criminal charges pressed against them? We're going to be playing out a few case studies of these protesters on, they've spoken out on what played out on the night when trees were being cut and they were protesting peacefully at Aarey outside. But let's get in further details. We have with us our correspondent Amita with those inputs here. Amita, it has been a few days since they were released. Specific instructions by the Supreme Court that all protesters, all 29 jailed protesters be released immediately. They're concerned about these criminal charges that they still continue to face.
Well, that's correct. In fact, Section 353, among other sections, were also imposed on these people. And currently, in just a little bit of time, a press conference will also be held by these activists. And remember, it wasn't just activists, but also students who were part of this peaceful protest. Of course, the Supreme Court earlier had said that these people must be released with a bail amount, and the bail amount of 7,000 rupees each was also required to be given, and they were released. But post that, now they're saying the biggest demand is that these charges, these criminal charges, must be dropped at any cost. And that is the big demand that's coming in from activists, from students, from people who were protesting peacefully. In fact, we have a couple of people with us right now, if I can talk to them, who were arrested, who say that they were peacefully protesting. If I can come to you guys, you were peacefully protesting, and today the biggest demand is for those charges to be dropped.
Absolutely. I mean, so when we were there in the place, right, we've been cooperating with the police since the first minute. Alright, I was asked by the police to, quieten the crowd. So I turned back, I quietened the crowd, and turned back again towards the police, and that's where the first lathi charge began. The second time again the police asked us to quieten the crowd, we did that. We turned again, and the lathi charge began. So what I'm saying is, whenever we have tried to cooperate with the police began the lathi charge. We could even see that, the police that were there during our Sunday for Aarey protest, every Sunday, they were crying because they knew we were not from a political party. We were not, we are genuine protesters. We were civilians who had come. So they cried for us there when the lathi charge was going. The policemen cried. So the policemen knew. The policewomen knew that the protesters were right in their place and that the orders that they were following were wrong. So the question is, who was giving that orders? Was it the chief minister? And if it was the chief minister, what now? The chief minister now should apologize to the people, to the students, to the entire student community, their parents, the people who have been arrested. School kids in Bandra were threatened. So that is the limit that the chief minister and the state government is going to. So now they should apologize and drop the charges.
So not just dropping the charges, apology is also required, is what people are really telling us. Rishi, you tell me what happened that evening. You were also there and you were arrested as well.
So I was detained actually, but we could directly see that police were being ordered by someone else because they were not doing it by their own will. They were cooperating with us. Even when we were detained and we were at the police station, police was behaving nicely with us.
Okay.
So I definitely think it was ordered by someone. And if it is someone, then we should know who ordered it. Because we should know as big people, as the people who have been charged or the people who have detained. And you have to understand that these people have gone through immense mental trauma, right? Some of them are students who are outstationer students. Their parents still don't know. some of them stay alone. Some of them are studying in college. They have their entire lives ahead of them. So
Absolutely. In fact, a lot of students, like he was pointing out, also had exams to attend. Of course, they got bail on that particular day. But Section 352,
Yes.
253, and 43, which is unlawful assembly, are the charges. And they say those charges must be dropped and an apology must come in from the Chief Minister.
That's right, Amita. It's important to note that this is a set of youngsters' future that we're talking about. While they continue to maintain that these were peaceful protests, there is also a lot of video evidence available. Protesters who were shooting this incident, shooting each other at the time of this protest here, which clearly establishes that this was a peaceful protest. There was no attack on the cops. There should be no criminal charges that they should be facing for a peaceful protest.
Well, that's correct. Section 353, which is assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharging duty, and 332, which is voluntarily causing her to deter public servant from duty. These are the two charges that they want to be dropped immediately. Of course, they're out on bail. They had to crowdsource that money. In fact, more than 2 lakh rupees was in fact crowdsourced and in fact paid for that bail amount. A bond of about 7,000 rupees each for each of these 29 who were arrested was to be paid, and that was through a crowdsourced fund. And this is because so many students were also part of this protest, and this was a peaceful protest is what people are telling us. There is video evidence, like you pointed out, and despite that they ask why press these charges.
Okay, stay with us. Let's get in a very senior legal voice, which in fact could perhaps advise and help the students who feel that they're stuck in this spot here, released from jail, but still facing criminal charges against them. We have Mr. Sujay Kantewala, a senior lawyer, with us. Thanks for being with us, Sujay. In your view, what is the option at hand for these protesters? A lot of them young college students, and they're concerned about what they feel is illegal in their view, on why they're facing criminal charges today.
Yeah, I feel that they had a legitimate grievance and they had a noble intention to protect the environment and the depleting forest cover. So I would not even label them as protesters. They were voicing their legitimate view, and it was to be taken in a very positive way, which unfortunately it has not. So these unfortunate events have been seen by all concerned. I feel that a petition should be like a class action you have. A common petition should be moved in the High Court to immediately quash the charges which have been leveled by the police, and also a huge amount of compensation is liable to be paid for this completely illegal and unwarranted action which has been adopted by the police.
But Sujay, this would again mean for the protesters, for these young students to be going to court, to be seeking that. They're expecting the state government step in to help them here. Is that too much to ask?
Of course. That would be a legitimate expectation to hope that the state government perhaps would have a complete rethink, relook at this whole issue and withdraw the charges. There's nothing wrong with that. It would not hurt anybody's ego. I'm sure this can be amicably dealt with. But if that does not happen, then, you have always a sort of a fallback, which is your legal right. And there are enough lawyers available who would take up this just cause and fight for the students in the court. And it's not necessary that the students have to remain present. They can continue their vocation, their studies, whatever they're doing. Lawyers represent their clients. So there are enough of right-minded lawyers who are always ready and willing to take up just causes. So I feel that this really needs a closure. This cannot go on because this would have great consequences on their futures. They are young citizens who have bright careers ahead of them. Unfortunately, these things are embedded in
Absolutely,
social media
and
platforms
this is a
and can be
blot that they
misused.
feel, which is unnecessary. Yes, Sujay, please stay on with us. Based on what you've said, that this is not too much of an expectation to expect the state government to step in and help them here on this. Let's get in a word here from Ms. Shaina NC of the BJP. Shaina, thanks for being with us here. These are protesters, as we know, largely are young students. They felt that they were standing for the right cause. It was a peaceful protest. They were instead lathi charged and sent to jail. They were detained briefly and now they're still facing criminal charges. They want that to be dropped.
Well, I think it's a legitimate claim. Yes, agitations are welcome, and the due process of law does take place where, if they feel it becomes a law and order situation. But that apart, I think that in this particular case, the state government will look into this matter, and we are open to representation by the students explaining their viewpoints. And in that reference, we only hope that people don't treat this as a norm, but treat this as an exception to the rule.
Okay, but Shaina, are you saying that the state government would step in here, because these are young students, these are college students, they feel passionately for the cause that they were standing for. They didn't attack anyone. Why are they facing these criminal charges? Can the state government step in and provide that immediate relief and assurance that this would be taken care of? This is not a blot that they would be facing.
Look, protesters are entitled to their agitation, but it is for the Supreme Court to release all the arrested people. I think that the demand of removal of criminal charges is only fair because they are not criminals, and we know that. But there is a process of law which we all need to adhere to, because tomorrow if I start protesting and holding any institution to ransom, I think they will deal with this, the issue appropriately there
Okay.
too.
And they were released only after the insistence of the Supreme Court. Let's not forget that out of the 29, still a lot of them were still in detention till the Supreme Court said with immediate effect that all need to be released, which is when they were released here. Sujay, help us understand what is this process of law which is going to take so long to provide that relief to them?
No, I agree with China that this should not be a precedent or a norm, because if there is a legitimate form of kind of exposing or sharing your views, it should not be termed as some kind of a rowdy agitation or something like that, which is it is not. The process is very simple. The state government has to take a call and file a closure report. That's it. They don't have to pursue the case. That's the
Right.
end of the matter.
So
It's as
it is
simple
for
as
the
that.
state government here, Shaina, to take this call, not for the Supreme Court to be instructing the state government yet again that to drop these criminal charges. They're already given out an earlier instruction to release them immediately. Should we be going to the Supreme Court for each thing if this is clearly in the hands of the state government?
Well, as I said, what type of a precedent are we trying to set? If we are going to make sure that law takes its course, then we have to go by the process. It's not for the state government to intervene. If the honorable courts feel that no, there is reason to believe that this is an exceptional case, then so be it. And we do believe that they are not criminals, and they should not be given any kind. They should not be made to go through any criminal proceedings.
China, there's nothing definite in this answer here that you're giving. If it is the state government that can provide that immediate relief, why wait till the 21st of October for the next hearing, which is in fact a hearing on a different case with respect to the number of trees that have been chopped in Aarey. Let's get in a word here from activist Mr. Harshad Tambe with us over the phone line. Harshad, thanks for being with us. In your view, is this a fair, valid concern by the protesters? These are young students. They want criminal charges that they're facing to be dropped immediately, and they're expecting the state government to do that.
Let me clarify first thing. Under the Article 51A of the Indian Constitution, we have the right, and it is our rightful duty to protect forests, lakes, and other natural reservoirs, other natural reservoirs. So, what is it that a young kids or the young adults did wrong that day on the fateful night of the 4th? This is a question to know by police and the state government. Secondly, the police, the Mumbai police did not have prohibitory order in force. Then whatever they did, the detention was absolutely illegal. So what we want to propose now is the peaceful protest that the young people did on the night of the 4th. Was it wrong? Was it illegal?
All right.
Should it not?
All right. So they have done nothing wrong to begin with. Their arrest was questionable, and these criminal charges against them were questionable as well. They have been asking for this. A group of them have collected today as well, making those same demands. Let's in fact cut into that directly.
आपके पास परमिशन लेटर है इन पेड़ों को रात में काटने का, अंधेरे में काटने का? हमें कोई भी परमिशन लेटर नहीं दिखाया गया किसी भी अथॉरिटी के द्वारा। जब ये लोग परेशान हुए, इनको कोई लेटर नहीं दिखाया गया, तो ये वहीं बैठ गए। इन्होंने शांतिपूर्ण प्रदर्शन चालू किया, इन्होंने नारे लगाने चालू किए और गाने गाने चालू किए। ये इनका अपराध था। ये लोग कौन थे जो आए थे? ये मुंबई की अलग अलग यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ने वाले आम छात्र थे, मुंबई के अलग अलग दफ्तरों में काम करने वाले आम नागरिक थे, महिलाएं थीं, आदिवासी लोग थे। ये लोग इसमें आए जो समझते हैं कि प्रगति में क्या महत्वपूर्ण स्थान है, वो ये इस जगह आए और उन्होंने अपना काम किया। अब बात यह है कि हमारे जैसे लोगों पर, जो आम नागरिक हैं, आम स्टूडेंट हैं, आम काम करने वाले, उनके ऊपर इतने गहरे, इतने संगीन आरोप क्यों लगाए गए? किसकी जो है आदेश पर इन लोगों पर बार बार लाठीचार्ज पुलिस द्वारा किया गया? हम इसका जवाब चाहते हैं, और हम ये चाहते हैं कि इसकी जिम्मेदारी मानते हुए सरकार हमारे ऊपर जो लगे हुए तमाम चार्जेस हैं उनको तुरंत हटाए और इस बर्बरतापूर्ण कार्रवाई के लिए माफ़ी मांगे। और हम लोग अपना यही दर्द और अपनी यही बात आपसे शेयर करना चाहते हैं। मैं कपिल, मैं टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट में LLM का छात्र हूँ। मैं आरे के ऊपर ही अपने डिजर्टेशन भी लिख रहा हूँ, इसलिए मेरा इस टॉपिक से जुड़ा और भी ज़्यादा, मैं इससे गहराई से इसमें जुड़ा हुआ था। और ये मैं समझता हूँ कि ये बिल्कुल इस तरीके से पेड़ों को काटना, वो भी रात के अंधेरे में, न्यायिक प्रक्रिया के उल्लंघन के रूप में, जिसमें हम लोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट जा सकते थे, तब भी हमें जाने नहीं दिए गए, हमें उससे पहले ही पेड़ की छटाई चालू कर दी। ये बिल्कुल गलत है। और मैं अपने बाकी साथियों से कहना चाहूँगा कि वो भी अपनी अपनी बातें रखें, उनके साथ क्या क्या हुआ वो आप सबके साथ शेयर करें।
त्या दिवशी आम्हाला माहिती पडलं, माझं परमिला प्रकाश भोईर, जसं मला माहिती पडलं रात्रीच्या झाडं कापायला तिकडे घेतलेत करून, तसंच आम्ही पटकनशी निघून गेलो घरातून झाडं वाचवण्यासाठी। आणि आम्ही सांगत होतो त्यांनी की झाडं तुम्ही तोडू नका, झाडं तुम्ही तोडू नका। आणि नंतर मग ते लोकांनी भरपूर आमची माणसं जमली होती तिथे, आणि मग भरपूर जमल्याने आम्ही सांगितलं का आम्हाला आतमध्ये जायचं आहे, तुम्ही किती झाडं कापली ते आम्हाला बघायचे आहे। त्याच्यानंतर मग आम्हाला आतमध्ये सोडलं आणि आम्ही जाऊन बघितली, त्यापर्यंत झाडं ते लोकांनी तोडली होती। नंतर मग ते लोकांनी नंबरसुद्धा टाकले होते त्याच्यावरती, झाडावरती कापून। मग आम्ही आलो आणि तिथे बसलो होतो आणि पर्यावरणाचं गाणं बोलत होतो आणि अर्धा तास आम्ही बसलो। त्याच्यानंतर मग आम्हाला जेंट्स पोरांना आमच्या पोलिसांनी तिकडे खेचाखेची केली, गाडीत नेऊन बसवलं, त्यांना पोलीस स्टेशनमध्ये अटकसुद्धा केली। त्याच्यानंतर आम्हाला लेडीज पोलिसाच्या गाडीत नेऊन बसवलं, त्यांनी तिथे आतमध्येच बसवलं, पण नंतर आम्हाला त्यांनी उतरवलं खाली। मग उतरलं आणि आम्ही बिरसा मुंडा चौक आहे तिथे जाऊन आम्ही बसलो। तिथे सुद्धा आम्ही पर्यावरणाचंच गाणं बोलत होतो आणि मग ते गाणं बोलता बोलतात नंतर मग पोलीस आले, लेडीज पोलीस आल्या आणि त्यांनी सांगितलं की तुम्हाला फक्त 5 मिनिटं आम्ही देतो, नाहीतर आम्ही तुमच्यावर लाठीचार्ज करणार। आणि मग ते लोकांनी थोडा टाईम थांबले आणि मग लागले पोरांना खेचाखची करायला। त्यांनी नेऊन गाडीत भरलं, काही पोरींना सुद्धा लागलं। ठीक आहे, आम्ही झाडं वाचवायला आलो, आम्ही कुठला गुन्हा करायला आलो नव्हतो। झाडं वाचवते ते चांगलं आहे ना, सगळ्यांसाठी आहे। हे ऑक्सिजनचं वाचवलंच पाहिजे। ऑक्सिजन माणसासाठीच नाही, जंगल माणसासाठी नाही। हा तिथला बिबट्या आहे, तिथे मोर आहे, रानमांजर आहे, तिथे सगळे अनेक जीव आहेत. त्यांचासुद्धा आम्ही विचार करतो आहे की आज झाडं वाचतील तर हे सगळं जीव जंतू माणसांसाठी शुद्ध हवा भेटणार आहे. आणि जर ही झाडं तोडली तर ही शुद्ध हवा भेटणार नाही. तर आपल्याला मुंबईकरांना सगळ्यांना भेटून सगळी झाडं आहेत ही सगळं वाचवलं पाहिजे. झाडं वाचतील तर आपल्याला शुद्ध हवा भेटेल. झाडं नष्ट झाली, डोंगर नष्ट झालं तर शुद्ध हवा येणार नाही. आणि जर जास्त पाऊस पडला तर जंगलही आपले काय होते, मुंबईसुद्धा ही भरू शकते. मुंबई भरपूर मोठ्या प्रमाणात पाणी भरू शकेल. तिकडे मोठ्या प्रमाणात कॉन्क्रीट होणार तर पाणी मुरायला जागा नसणार. कॉन्क्रीट झालं तर जंगलात पाणी मुरणार कसं? ते शहरामध्ये जाणार. आणि मिठी नदीसुद्धा ठेवलेली आहे. ती मिठी नदीसुद्धा तिथे झाडं बरीचशी प्रमाणात होती, तीसुद्धा तोडली गेली आणि मिठी नदी कमी पडते.
नमस्कार, माझं नाव स्वप्ना स्वार. माझा जन्म गोरेगावात झाला. माझी शाळा, माझं कॉलेज सगळं गोरेगावात. आरे कॉलनीच्या ओपी गार्डनशी किंवा आरे कॉलनीच्या अख्ख्या तो भाग आम्ही कितीदा फिरलोय, त्याला काही गिनती नाही. आणि त्याच्यामुळे प्रत्येक क्षण हा तिकडचा आमचा जवळचा आहे. आरेचं प्रत्येक झाड हे आमचं जवळचं आहे. त्याला जंगल आणि झाडांमधला फरक हा आम्हाला तिथे गेल्यावरच लक्षात येतो. रस्त्यावर तर फिरताना जे झाड दिसतं आणि जंगल जे म्हणतात त्यातला फरक तुम्हाला आरेला आल्यावर नक्की कळेल. जन्माला आलेलं प्रत्येक मूल पहिला जर काय मागत असेल तर तो पहिला चांगला श्वास मागतो. त्याच्यासाठी ते धडपडतं. तर हा पहिला हक्क आहे माणसाचा असं आम्हाला वाटतं. आणि तो श्वास सगळ्यात बेस्ट देण्यासाठी म्हणजे हा श्वास प्रत्येकाला, इथे असलेल्या आम्हाला अपोज करणाऱ्या किंवा आमच्या बरोबर असणाऱ्या प्रत्येकासाठी आम्ही हा श्वास मागण्यासाठी हे जे जंगलतोड चाललेली आहे त्याचा निषेध, शांतपूर्ण निषेध करण्यासाठी त्या दिवशी तिथे गेलेलो होतो. हायकोर्टातून ही केस सुप्रीम कोर्टात गेलेली आहे. 15 दिवस आता काही झाडं कापली जाणार नाही. हे रिलॅक्स मुवमेंट मध्ये आम्ही असताना न्याय व्यवस्थेवर आमचा पूर्ण विश्वास होता आणि त्यामुळे आम्ही खूप रिलॅक्स होतो. आणि अचानक ही संध्याकाळची जी न्यूज यायला लागली की आता झाडं कापली जात आहेत तिकडे, म्हणजे आपलं कोणीतरी हक्काचं, आपल्या जवळचं माणूस मारलं जात आहे किंवा त्याला त्रास दिला जातो, या भावनेने आम्ही नुसते धावत गेलो तिकडे. आणि ते जे तिकडे दृश्य बघितलं की झाडं कापली जात आहेत, आम्ही त्यांना म्हटलं की आम्हाला दाखवा तुमच्याकडे काय परमिशन लेटर आहे. त्यांनी आम्हाला काही परमिशन लेटर दाखवलं नाही. पोलिसांचा ताफा ते वाढवत गेले. माझ्या एक लक्षात आलं, इथे तरुणांचा हे खूप जास्त आहे. तर तरुणांची ही डिमांड आहे की पर्यावरण राखलं पाहिजे. तर हे सगळ्यांनी ऐकावं, गव्हर्नमेंटनी खास ऐकावं की तरुणांचा हा आवाज आहे की पर्यावरण वाचलं पाहिजे.
Young students, they were all there protesting against the chopping of trees here. Today, it's of course futile to debate whether or not those trees to be chopped because they've already been cleared up for the Metro Carshed project. The primary demand, while they still raised their concern on why they stood for protecting those trees, today the demand is that criminal charges be dropped against. There were peaceful protesters. It is legal to protest. Why were they detained and why are they still facing criminal charges? Our Deputy News Editor, Mayuresh, is giving us further inputs here on specific demands now that are being raised days after they were released. Okay, we're going to be reconnecting with our team on that in just a bit. But these are voices who are speaking out. They're asking the state government, they're asking the police to help. This is not a blot that they should be facing of criminal charges for a peaceful protest. We are going to be continuing the focus here on this in just a bit. We will revisit these voices, revisit their demands. They were fighting for Mumbai's green lungs, all that they'd asked: to protect the trees, It was a peaceful demand. It was done peacefully. They're questioning the police action of lathi charge. They're questioning their arrest. Today, when they're out released on strict instructions from the Supreme Court, their concern is on why they are still facing criminal charges. It is a valid concern. It is a valid demand. We expect the state to step in with immediate relief. Thanks for being with us.